Welcome back, class. Today we are going to be looking at word problems that involves area and having to solve a quadratic equation. Let's go ahead and get into this. A rectangular porch has dimensions of x plus 12 and x plus 5 feet. If the area of the porch floor is 120 square feet, what are its length and width? Let's start off by drawing a rectangle. The rectangle is going to represent our porch. It mentions that the dimensions are x plus 12, which will be the length, and the width is x plus 5. In the problem, it wants us to find our length and width. In order to find our length and width, we need to figure out what x is. So let's keep going. We also know that the area of the porch is 120 square feet. So now that we have everything labeled, let's come up with an equation and solve for x. So back in elementary school, you learned that the area of a rectangle is length times width. Now let's fill this in. Our area is 120, the length is x plus 12, and the width is x plus 5. So now we need to multiply x plus 12 and x plus 5. So I'm going to use the box method to multiply that out. X times x is x squared, x times 12 is 12x, 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times 12 is 60. So now we have x squared plus 17x plus 60, and that equals 120. Now that we have our equation, let's go ahead and solve for x. Subtract 120 to both sides, and that's going to give us 0 is equal to x squared plus 17x minus 60. So at this step, we need to use the x method to solve for x. A is 1, b is 17, c is negative 60. A and c will go at the top, b will go at the bottom. We have 1 times negative 60, which is negative 60, and then 17 is at the bottom. Okay, class, go ahead and think of two numbers that'll multiply negative 60, but will add up to 17. If you're having a hard time trying to figure out what the numbers are, you can always make a table of factors. And I'll go ahead and write the table here. So we need two numbers that'll multiply to 60, negative 60, but will add up to 17. So let's start with 1 and 60. 1 times 60 will give us 60, but will it add up to 17? No, it won't. 2 times 3 will give us 60, but when you add those together, it will not be 17. 3 times 20 is 60, but if we add these together, well, we might be able to manipulate this to get 17. Okay, so I'll make it negative 3. Negative 3 times 20 will give us the negative 60. And if we add 20 and negative 3, that'll give us the positive 17. So the numbers are 20 and negative 3. Now we're going to take these numbers and divide by A. A is 1. And put the x's at the bottom. Class, the factors are x plus 20 times x minus 3. And remember, it equals 0. Now we're ready to solve for x. Set each factor equal to 0. In the first equation, we subtract 20 to both sides. That's going to give us x equals negative 20. In our second equation, we want to add 3 to both sides. X equals 3. So this is a word problem, and your answer needs to make sense. The length of a rectangle needs to be positive. So the negative 20 wouldn't make sense as our length. So go ahead and cross that out. And let's try 3. X equals 3. So we're actually not done. All we know is that x equals 3. The problem wants us to find the length and width of the rectangle. So we're going to take our 3 and plug it in. 3 plus 12, that is 15. The length is 15. For the width, we're going to plug in the 3. 3 plus 5, that's going to give us 8. So the width is 8. And to be more specific, since the unit is in feet, the length is 15 feet, and the width is 8 feet. Now, how do you check your work? You can check your work by multiplying 15 times 8. Remember, the area of the porch is 120 square feet. So if we multiply 15 times 8, we should get 120. Let's see. 5 times 8 is 40, carry the 4. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. And it checks.